Levi's against the stove and get them as hot as you could get them until you couldn't stand them anymore. And then you would squat down to see who could stay squatted the most with that hot Levi right there in the crook of your knee. And if you think it doesn't sound like you're very tough, try it around the campfire sometime. See how long.
When this house was originally built, this was the front door. This is the original room, the one-room house. And that was the front porch, if I remember right. And then they added on this end. They expanded this way first, and then they expanded on with the new kitchen later on. But this is actually a front door. That's why we have this here.
Show me again, for the sake of the camera, when it was built.
18. When was it built?
1887. Oh yeah, he said 122 years.
And they added the inside plumbing. They had the washroom there and the original bathroom right here.
That bathroom was so small you could sit on the toilet and wash your hands. Or you could sit on the toilet and soak your feet in the tub.
Whichever was most necessary.
Or if you needed it all at once, so be it.
Yeah. Yeah, when you were sick and needed it, they all came in handy. So anyway, this was the new counters were all put in, and Granddad Hunt built that counter for Grammy Hunt at that height, because that's the height that she wanted to make bread. And so that was her patience counter, because when she wanted to take out her aggression, she would make bread. And you could always taste when she had a lot of aggression to take out, because her bread was delicious.
Very
She really needed it really good.
And she,
Wasn't that like daily?
And then she'd pick it up over her head. You could always tell when she was mad at Dad, because she'd pick the bread up and she'd go, "Bread!" Then she'd slug the bread, and then she'd mix it around and come. And I tell you, it was the best tasting bread you could ever eat. Just, you'll never eat better homemade bread.
one more story.
So you don't have to make it with love, huh? You make it with anger?
Oh, there was a lot of love in that. It was good. It was good.
Grandpa Hunt loved flat cakes. And so he used to, when they were first married, he'd come in when Grammy wasn't looking, and he'd kick the oven door and make the cake fall, because it would make it nice and firm. And one day, my mom found out, Grammy found out, and happened to be standing behind him just as he kicked the oven door, and then she kicked him, and that was the end of his oven kicking.
Did she still make flat cakes?
Nope, she quit making flat cakes. She thought she was a failure at making cakes.
Aww.
This is the new addition. Two bathrooms. Standard eating time. You have boys and girls.
But now a pantry.
What was the back porch. Underneath here was door down to the cellar.
You got a light switch right behind you. Or the door. Open the door.
Just open the door.
It's by the bookshelf.
There's the light. Anyway, the big freezer was here. Uncle John and my bed was right here. Bob's bed was there. Fred's bed was there. And Leanne and Kathy had that bedroom. And this is the light.
The light.
That tells you, when somebody tells you something, you better listen.
What was that about?
The story of the light is they used to have to.
Hey, Dad.
Go ahead.
Dad, not everybody has heard the story of the light bulb.
All right. All right, I'll tell you the story. These lights didn't have a switch. They were pull chain. Okay, but actually they weren't even pull chain, because you had to go like this. That's how you turn the light out. Well, they were hot, so the last one in bed had to turn the light out. So, and on a cold night, you didn't want to be stumbling around in the cold trying to get to bed. So everybody said, "I'm going to bed." Well, this one particular night, all four of us, Bob, Fred, John, and I, we all hit the bed at the same time. Boom! You were the last one in bed. No, sir, you were. I was in bed before you were. No, sir, you were last. No, sir. You got to turn the light off. No, I'm not going to turn the light off. You have to turn the light off. This went on for, like siblings will do, for probably 2 minutes. All of a sudden we hear, here comes Dad, comes in, he has a baseball bat. Remember, we're looking at him, here he is, he says, I'll turn that light off.
I'll turn that light off.
He hit it, and I mean, glass went poof. We didn't say a word. We slept with glass in our bed all night long.
I gotta tell you one more. Those footsteps reminded me of a story. When I was an only child here, my dad and I, Grandpa and I, didn't see eye to eye when I was a teenager. And we were in the front room, and I don't even remember what we were arguing about or fighting about or whatever. And I got mad, and I came out here, and there's 3 doors out to the bunkhouse, and that's where I slept. And I slammed the kitchen door, and I slammed the back door, and I went out there and I slammed the bunkhouse door, and I laying on my bed, and I just steaming. And I heard this, slam! Slam! No more slam. And then pretty soon he comes through the bunkhouse door, and he had a 2x4 in his hand. And my eyes focused on the nails in the end of that 2x4. And I thought, I'm a dead man. Luckily, he turned it around, but he wailed on me, and that's the last time I ever backtalked Grandpa.